and it means we're now going to talk a little bit of football, the world game, and we're going on a slightly different tack. We're not going to be talking about the game itself, but more about the opportunity to play the game itself, which has been made possible by a group of gentlemen who've set up a thing called Backpackers FC. And one of the founders of Backpackers FC is joining us tonight, and that's Andrew Barrett. Andrew, welcome to Not the Footy Show.
Thanks, Ashley. How are you?
Really good, thanks. Now, first of all, how did this whole idea of Backpackers FC come about, and what does it actually entail?
Sure. Look, it came over a couple of beers between myself and a guy called Neil Hookway, who's been involved with UWA for many years now.
That's where the best ideas come from?
It does, and we used to play against each other all the time.
UWA?
Talk,
a couple of beers.
We used to have a bit of a chat in the bar. We're thinking there's lots of different communities in Perth, and there's obviously the backpacker community is one of them, and we both came across as backpackers many years ago as well. And we looked to play football, and I played for Murdoch and he played for UWA, and we thought, hang on a minute, surely there's going to be lots of people similar to us, and why not start a team made up purely of backpackers? So the idea was born, really.
And how did you get the word out there? Because it's one thing saying you're going to do that. Did you go around the backpackers trying to recruit players, or was it a case of getting people before they actually came to Australia?
Yeah, it's taken about a year to put together off the pitch. We've the whole concept is to bring players across from abroad. So we've done lots of social media, Facebook, YouTube, and the like, and a bit of Twitter as well, just to get the word out there. And we've got thousands and thousands of friends on Facebook and this sort of thing, getting the word out to bring players across from abroad. So we actually left it probably a little bit too late to get the team made up of players coming into the country. So that we went around the backpacker hostels with posters and spreading the word on Gumtree and those sort of things. And first training session in the middle of February, we had 20 guys turn up, and all 20 of them are still part of the squad. So it's grown over the last sort of 2-3 months. We've got a squad of about 35 players, and we're flying, really.
I mean, it's one thing getting all the players together, but I mean, was it easy getting a team in one of the local competitions?
That was one of our sort of biggest hurdles, really. We wanted to start the club afresh on our own. To do that, we'd have to start in the social league, and the calibre of players that we were getting, and we thought we'd get, we might want something a little bit more competitive. So, but we approached a couple of clubs. One of them being Bayswater. We knew that they didn't have an amateur team at the time, and we put it to Jerry, the chairman, and Greg. They loved the idea. They loved the concept. For us to be sort of joined as their amateur team. They liked the bonuses that they could get with with a new team, hopefully a successful team, more people coming into the club. We've had pre-season games. We've had 50 people down watching the game from the backpacker hostels. So they're very forward thinking down at Bayswater, and I was really, we were really impressed with the setup, and so we've become their amateur team, so to speak.
So you play as Bayswater, or do you play as Backpackers FC? Through Football West, we actually are playing as Bayswater Soccer Club, but our trading name and for all intents and purposes, we're Backpackers FC. We deal with our own finances, and we play under Bayswater City, and all our players are registered to Bayswater City, but they all play for Backpackers.
You mentioned there that the calibre of players that you were getting interest from was going to be something higher than just playing in a social league. So no doubt some of these players and backpackers have played in competitions overseas.
Yeah, they have. We've got about 3 or 4 players that have never played. They played futsal. They haven't played 11 aside. So they've got great skills, but when you put them on a big pitch, their awareness isn't the same. But yeah, we've had to get we're 35 to 40 international clearances through the system, which has been a bit of a headache for us. Some of the international clearances have come through in a couple of hours, and then we've got 3 or 4 guys who they've been in the system for about 40 days and they still haven't been cleared. So they've registered and paid, but we haven't been able to play them, which is a shame for them. And but they'll hopefully be cleared for this weekend coming.
Are you actually having to get clearances for every single player, or are there some that you don't have to worry about clearances for?
There's some that we don't have to get clearances for. Those being players like myself, and we've got about 5 or 6 guys that myself and Neil have known through footballing circles for the past few years who've wanted to give it a bit of a crack for our team, and so obviously we haven't got to get them. And then we've got about 3 players that, as I say, have never played the game before, that haven't needed it. So, the majority coming from, we've got players from Ireland, Peru, Germany, another whole heap from Ireland, a few more from Ireland. We've got a few English in there as well, Scottish, a couple from New Zealand. Where else have we got? An American, a Canadian. So, we've got players from all over.
Now, you mentioned there that you've got a few futsal players. Have you thought about sort of having an indoor futsal side as well?
Yeah, it's funny you should say it. We're looking to... we've already got a team playing down at Revolutions, and we actually won the league last season. But we're looking to put a futsal and 5-side team in Loftus, at Lords, and at Revolutions, and we've put posters up, and we've got plenty of interest to get a team of backpackers for each of those areas, and obviously if any of them are any good, then they might play for the full team.
How are you building that interest and, I guess, putting the sales pitch to some of these potential players to register with your club instead of going out and registering with another club?
Yeah, sure. Look, a big thing for backpackers is the social side and having a good time. Most of them these days, aren't backpacking as I did, and where things were a bit cheaper. These days, most of them are having to work every day, so they like to let their hair down. So we've got lots of social activities organised, and they're always meeting up in town in Perth for a few drinks, which is great. It builds a bit of camaraderie between the boys, and many of them are individuals. They've joined the team not knowing anyone in Perth. They've seen an ad and seen some of the promotion on Facebook. They've joined us, and they've met some friends. They've found work along the way. Through the other players, and it's really building a good squad. And foundations of a good squad is that they get on with each other and they talk and communicate with each other.
No doubt registration's been very strong. I guess over the next sort of 12 to 24 months, where do you see the club going and expanding into which other areas?
Sure. Look, the whole concept for myself and Neil is the bringing players from overseas to enjoy a backpacker experience in Perth, and the football team is part of it. So we would provide accommodation and job opportunities through our contacts, and we're down the line. There could be a Backpackers FC in Sydney, could be a Backpackers FC in Brisbane. My favourite is Rio. So I'm going to be setting up that one, and Neil, being a Man City fan, wants one in Manchester. So look, it's a long way off, but
do they have backpackers in Manchester?
I think they nick backpackers in Manchester, I'm not sure on that one. That's in Neil's head. He'd be better off in Southampton, where I'm from.
So obviously football is a passion for you. You've played it for many years. In your wildest dreams, did you ever think that you would actually be running a club at some stage?
No. No, not really. You know, it's everyone's dream. Oh, one day I'm going to own my own football club. You know, look, this came about. It was a business idea, and we were thinking, you know, but one that we'd both be sort of, you know, interested in doing, and it was certainly a unique concept. We haven't heard of it elsewhere in the world at the moment, and it's something unique. You know, at the moment there's Kentucky tours where you can sort of join up. You get your accommodation and then all your tours and things. And we thought, well, let's do it. Let's try doing that with the football side. But you know, I wouldn't say drawn the short straw because I'm very passionate about doing it. But I'm coaching the side as well, which is great because I left Murdoch or Melville at the beginning of this year. And because I just wanted to commit, you know, my limited spare time to getting the best team, best squad possible, and I think we've done that, and you know, we're really excited.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, both you and Neil, you had this idea over a beer. You're both playing for different clubs, and I was just wondering whether you were subs at those clubs. So it's like, we'll set up a club so we can be assured of a game every week.
I think we've spoken before. Actually, I don't think I was never a sub. In my head, I was never a sub anyway. Look, Neil's been the top goal scorer in the amateur league, and I think it was the UWA reserves actually. But he's played for ages. I was the keeper for Murdoch and Melville for about 7-8 years, and look, I haven't retired. Neil hasn't retired. He's still you know, pestering me to getting a start for Backpackers FC, but he has to wait in line because there's a couple of boys ahead of him at the moment.
Just before we let you go, can I ask, how is the team actually performing on the pitch?
The Reggies, we've had our first league game on the weekend. The Reggies won 4-0, and the first team we played another new team. I think they started last year called Harley, who played out of Morley Senior High School, and there wasn't a Football West referee there, which made it difficult from the start. We actually lost the game 2-1, and we didn't play very well at all. So it wasn't great there, but the week before we won, beat Canning 5-1, who were three divisions above us. So from that point of view, you know, we have been playing some decent football, and the guys are you know, very talented, but you know, coming together as a team on the pitch, it does take time. You know, a lot longer than having, you know, 4 to 6 weeks of training.
Well, we wish you all the very best with it, Andrew. Thanks for sharing that with us, and I think it's a great concept, and maybe you and Neil should have a few more beers to come up with a few more ideas as well. But thanks for your time.
Don't worry, we have got a few more ideas, and Neil texts them to me about 100 times a day. But look, great talking to you, Ashley, and we'll catch up soon.
Will do. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.